I'm not entirely happy with my one main character's development. She falls a little bit flat. My other main character, I read his stuff and I'm like, he's exciting. I want to get to his chapters, so I definitely am needing to do some work. I have a binder where I've done a lot of research on writing. I'm gonna grab my binder and I'm gonna just go over my notes on character and just see kind of like where I think that she might be lacking and where I can do work in that. Ow! Ta-da! Do a little exercise here. We're going to start with the 7 core components of characters, and we're going to break down my main character and see where I'm lacking here. So if any of them are missing, the character will feel flat no matter how good the prose is. The first one is their want or their goal. What is the character consciously pursuing? This is external, visible, and plot facing. So the rules are it must be specific, it must require action, and it must be opposed by something real. Good wants are to win a tournament, to protect your sister, to escape a city, to be chosen as the leader. Bad wants are to be happy, to figure things out, or to feel normal. My character wants to protect her sister. She wants to see the sun, wants to keep the people she loves alive. Those are pretty good wants. That's what she is pursuing. I'm happy with that. All right, next, the need or internal lack. What the character actually needs to learn, accept, or become. This is internal, emotional, and invisible at first. Common needs are self-worth, belonging, trust, accountability, courage, forgiveness, and identity. The rule is that the character's want is usually blocking the need. Right now, she believes that endurance is safety. I can't tell you what her need is because it will spoil the book, so I'm just gonna write it down. Number 3. Misbelief, so the lie. The false belief shaping their worldview. This is the most important piece. The structure of a misbelief is, because blank happened, I believe blank, so I must blank. For an example, because I was abandoned, I believe relying on others is dangerous, so I stay emotionally distant. The rule is that the misbelief once protected them, and now it limits them. She believes if you follow the rules and keep your head down, you'll survive. She believes the system is fundamentally necessary. All right, the next one is fear, so the cost of change. What the character is afraid will happen if the misbelief is challenged. Fear is not danger, fear is emotional annihilation. Common fears: being abandoned, being exposed, being powerless, becoming someone they hate, and losing control. The rule is that fear explains why the character doesn't just grow up already or doesn't just do the thing. So her deepest fear is losing the people she loves because of her action. I just realized something. I don't even know how to explain this. I just realized that the arc that I wrote for this main character is kind of following almost exactly what's happening in my real day-to-day life. And that's wild because I was like, this isn't something that my last book, I was like, I poured my soul into it. Like, you can see exactly what was happening in my life at the time through a lot of the characters and the reflections of them. And this one, I was just like, no, this has nothing to do with what's happening in my life. And now that I've written it down, I'm like, oh my God, it's literally exactly what I'm going through. I am this character. I'm trapped right now in a system, which is my business, and I don't like it. I want out, but it's protecting the people I love. It pays the bills. It feeds my children. And I desperately want out, but I can't, because the cost of change would be that what happens if we run out of money? Okay, well, we're not done this exercise, but already I feel like I have a better grasp of the character. And now that, especially that I understand where I got this character arc from, I can pull those feelings a lot more. So that's cool. After fear, we've got flaw, the behavioral expression, how the misbelief shows up in action. A flaw is a coping mechanism, not a personality quirk. Examples are they want control, so they're manipulative. There's a fear of abandonment, so they push people away. There's shame, so they have arrogance or self-erasure. The rule is that flaws must have consequence. If it doesn't create problems, it is not a flaw. I think her flaw is self-sacrificial recklessness, but it's like disguised as responsibility. She's taken it upon herself that she's responsible for everyone. And not like, we can all figure this out together and work as a team. It's like I have to sacrifice things to be able to keep you all alive. And it's not true. If she works harder, she can just fix everything. Ooh, I feel like I'm like, having a therapy session at the same time for myself. So yeah, outwardly she appears like tough and badass, but inwardly she's like emotional and she's scared and she just like exhausted as well. The stakes. So the stakes, or why it matters, is what the character stands to lose personally. This is separate from the world-ending stakes. So types are their identity, their relationships, self-respect, moral integrity, and their safety. So if the character fails, something internal must break, not just the plot. I think I have a pretty good idea for this one, but I don't think I can tell you. All right, and now choice, or the proof of character. The decision the character makes when the misbelief is no longer safe. So this is where the character is revealed. The key moment, do they choose comfort or growth? Do they choose fear or truth? Do they choose self or others? The rule is the climax must force a choice that contradicts the misbelief. One really good piece of advice that Brandon Sanderson said is don't make the choice one really bad option and one really good option, because that's not a choice. I realized that I did that in my debut novel, and I went back and changed it. Either you just go back to your regular life, which wasn't so awful, or you save the world and everyone's happy. And I'm like, well, that's not a choice. Like, I obviously have to save the world. I already feel a lot more confident in this. So there's also a character formula. A character wants X because they believe Y, which causes them to do Z until the cost becomes unbearable. If we go back to this, Maris wants to keep the people she loves alive because she believes that the system is necessary, which causes her to do self-sacrificial recklessness disguised as responsibility until the cost becomes unbearable. Cool. All right. Well, I'm excited now. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to start developing this character more using this formula. Thanks for attending my therapy session with me and realizing that I have some work to do on myself as well as Maris. See you in the next video.